Mic check 1 2 1 2. Mic check 1 2 1 2. Mic check 1 2 1 2. Fire emojis in the chat box. Fire emojis in the chat box. Mic check 1 2 1 2. Can you hear me clear out there? Is this thing on? Is this thing on? Guess what, people? We had feet on grass today. We had feet on grass today. We had feet on grass today. So excited to see guys running around, catching footballs and doing drills and tired of all this off season stuff. And it feet on grass today. I love it. It's just the beginning. It's just day one. Everybody probably they took it easy today. Good thing about it is we really came out of there with no real injuries that was spoken of. I got a few notes that I've taken from different people, and what I'll do is I'll try to summarize what I got from the different people that I follow and put my little spin on it. And especially for people that maybe was at work and can't be on their phone and whatnot, and you can kind of come here and get kind of a summation of what has happened in the day's events. And like I said, I got a few little notes, and I'll read them off to you from the day's events, and we'll make it happen like that. So let me move my notes over there before I bring in the other part of the show and we get to the nuts and bolts of it. But let's kick our EDDs off real quick. Patreon.com/sip the talent. If you join that, you get to be in the Discord, be a member of the Discord. You can reach out to me or anybody else that's a Patreon, and we can talk about football, life, or whatever. We talk about any and everything in the Patreon. I mean, in the Discord. Also, you get a chance to be in the Fantasy Football League. We have one field already. We're working on filling the second one. You get a chance to win the Cuban link with Sip the Tally Fantasy Football Champion embossed on it. So that's another perk of it. And also, you get your chalice. If you're a gunslinger member of the Patreon, you get your chalice sent out to you. And that way, when we score touchdowns, when we get victories this year, all the way up into February, we'll be celebrating. Whether you're drinking purple Kool-Aid, water, Hennessy, apple juice, grape juice, whatever you drink, whatever, it tastes better in the purple Kool-Aid chalice. So make sure you join patreon.com/sip the tally and get that. August 1st, we resetting the points. Giveaways restart again August 1st. So make sure you be ready for that. I think August 1st is Monday. So we're gonna redo a couple of things, but we'll announce all that on August 1st and kind of let you know all the details going on with that. What else we got? Oh, the pin comment. If you want to support the channel in any kind of way, hit the pin comment. It'll take you to a page and you can, put in how much you want to support. Then you can add a comment to it also. And if you have a question of any kind, that way it'll get put on the screen. I'll go back and read it and try to answer it as best as possible. All right. My notes, my camp notes. I got that out the way. I ran through the EDDs. EDDs stand for everyday drills. Shout out to the Noti gang for today. Let's see who we got in our Noti gang for today. We're gonna try to start doing this day of instead of the day behind. The Rogue Pod, appreciate you for coming through with Noti gang. Jeremiah W, appreciate it. Who else we got? Living Big with Big Reg, appreciate it. Make sure you go follow Rogue Pod. Living Big with Big Reg. Big Reg also has a page. Let's see who else we got. Brandon Bazel has a page. Him and Reg kind of do their thing together a little bit, but they both have separate pages. Shout out to T Sizzle for a Noti gang. Patreon P Brown the third, not P Brownie. Appreciate you guys for coming through. Who else we got on the Noti gang? I saw somebody like C Iron. C Iron was cutting up in the Ravens presser earlier. He was cutting up. So just know he was cutting up. What else we got? What else we got? That's all for my Noti gang today. I appreciate you guys for coming through. And again, all the Noti gang is you guys just let me know that YouTube did their job of letting you know that I was about to go live and that we are about to have some fun on this channel today. All right. So let's go through my camp notes real quick, and then we'll start to get into the nuts and bolts of what we're here for. All right. So my camp notes for today was this July 26, 2023. Number one, I got no Tyus Bowser. We all know what's going on there. No Nick Moore, who's our long snapper, or Voorhees. My bad. Let me get my Watch off of that. Voorhees, and they are on the non-football injury list. And came out right at the end, right before I started, that Trayvon Mullen is also on the non-football injury list. So I don't know what happened with Trayvon Mullen. Once I do a little more digging, I'll see if I can find an answer for you guys. And if you have an answer already, put it in the comment section, or if you're watching this on replay, put it in the put it in the chat box. And if you're watching this on replay, put it in the comment section. Obviously, we know the guys are on PUP list. Bateman, Dobbins, Ricard, and Williams. Kipper was cut. I found that out after practice. And Mekhi Polk, who we re-signed after from the Giants. I don't know if the Giants cut him or what, but we re-signed Mekhi Polk, who was here this time last year, and we cut him. And the Giants picked him up. So I don't know if the Giants cut him and we re-picked him up, but he received from Mississippi State. He was in shorts. This just happened yesterday, so he probably didn't have time to do everything he needed to do to practice today. They also, the deal with Arthur Mollett was officially signed today. It's worth up to $2 million, $220,000 in guaranteed money per source. Don't know who that source is. It is what it is. All right. Zay Flowers. What I saw on different little video and films and whatnot, Zay Flowers looked super duper quick in and out of his breaks. Every time he would stop, plant, and go left or right, he looked out of this world. Like his stops would be skirt, and then he would be back up to full speed within a step or two. That's gonna work wonders. And we already saw somebody tweeted that he caught like a little shallow route, and Roquan had the angle on him, and that angle got destroyed, like completely destroyed. Hold on 1 second. Got to make a business issue. All right, we good. We good. Just make sure that was good. All right. Next up, everybody passed the conditioning test, which is a major plus. Everybody, even being Cleveland, everybody passed the conditioning test. Everybody, even being Cleveland. And I'm gonna keep stressing that. Even being Cleveland passed the conditioning test, even though he didn't go with the ones today. But even being Cleveland passed the conditioning test. All right. Go to the press conferences, and everybody, they talk mumbo, whatever. We all really want to know about Lamar. And I got two things from Lamar, what he said that kind of stood out to me. Excuse me, sorry. He talked about checking at the line of scrimmage, which is one of the things that I've always brought up, thinking, getting out of the huddle and some of the things that he wasn't able to do with the Roman. He talked about being able to get to the line of scrimmage, see what the defense is lined up in, checking to the right play. He mentioned that we may not always get it right. But 9 times out of 10, they think they're going to get it right. And if they don't, they're going to go watch film about it. They're going to talk about it between plays. And then if they see that situation again, they're trying to get it right and fix it. That's kind of where it goes right there. Right? He mentioned using the running backs and getting that hidden yardage that if the running back makes a guy miss, or if the linebackers drop too deep, which is another thing that I talked about previously. Like not just checking the ball down at the last minute because none of your people are down the field or deep, but actually using the running back in a matchup situation where if the linebacker can't control him or guard him, you get those hidden yards. You throw the ball 1 yard and it end up being a 20-yard game or 10-yard game. But those are my camp notes for the day. And again, as more stuff happens and more stuff comes out, we'll get into more detailed stuff with those camp notes, especially on the Daily Show. But I'm kind of speedballing through it because I got some guys I want to bring up. And I'm going to show you what we're going to really talk about today. Talking about the contract. Now, let me close this. Need y'all seeing my files up here. No, I don't want to save it. Don't save. All right. Bring this up. Add the stream. Well, I tried to add the stream. I don't know what. There it is. Fine. All right. These are the two contracts. One for Lamar, one for Justin Herbert. Similar deals. Kind of, saw this on the channel and thought it'd be interesting to bring them on and so they could talk about it and let you hear their spiel, and then we're gonna go back and forth about it. But before I bring both guys on, just know that at 6 o'clock we're getting number 2 on the More Sip to Tally countdown. And at 6:15, we're getting number 1. And then at 7:15-ish at some point, I'll be on the Lunch Break Hot Take Show to sum up the entire countdown and to show you the entire spreadsheet with the whole process on it. So just know that. So when we get close to 6 o'clock, wherever we in the conversation, it's going to be kind of shutting down. So don't feel like I cut nobody off or I shorted y'all or whatnot. Just know that's where it's going. All right. So let me bring my guys in and you'll see where we going with this. So first up, a regular degular around these. What's good, Hendo?
Not much. How you feeling, Coach?
All right, and I already know how you feel about Herbert, and we kind of feel the same about Herbert. And he's now the highest paid quarterback. Do he deserve it? We'll kind of get into that in a minute. And but also this guy kind of made a video talking about what we were talking about. This guy too.
What's good? Salute.
Appreciate you coming on, Nitro. Appreciate you coming on, Hendo. And I want to give both of you guys the opportunity to talk. And we don't need to see this damn Nitro. Let me get this out. Because I can't barely see it anyway. My old eyes. But anyway, he got a little bit more money than Lamar.
All right.
And so with you, Nitro, I'll let you kind of start and kind of summarize what you said, on your video about, the respect, and just kind of summarize your video, what you said yesterday about Lamar and Justin Herbert's contract.
It's hilarious. It's comical. Literally, that's what it is. When you listen, when Lamar was up for his contract, one of the biggest sticking points that was going against him getting his money was his 1-3 playoff record. Okay. Yeah, you remember that? Because I do. So I keep receipts. And then you go forward and you look at somebody like a Justin Herbert who looks the look, throws the ball a certain way, right? But he has none of the success that somebody at that classification that people keep putting him in has. Mm-hmm. If I'm not mistaken, last year was his first time making the playoffs. Am I right or wrong?
Correct.
Okay. And on top of that, this man blew a 27-point lead.
Facts. I think we just talked about that recently, didn't we, Hendo?
Yeah, we did.
And we're not even, and I love because everyone's like, oh, the defense. The defense had how many turnovers in the first half? Wasn't it 4?
Four.
No, Asante had 3. Didn't it?
He had 4 interceptions. He threw 4 interceptions first half.
Mm-hmm. You see what I'm trying to say? So, and he gets, and even after that had happened, there was no hate. There was no nothing. It was, oh, good job, Herbert. So it's okay, guys. It was your defense. They should have held it down. You did not hear the same vitriol going towards him. Now we fast forward to a Lamar, right? And what he had to go through to get his stuff. And everybody seems to forget that Herbert signed an extension. Lamar signed a new contract. You get where I'm coming from? They made him play that whole bad boy out from beginnings to end. There was no middle. So I kind of find it hilarious that there was none of the same, oh, Herbert doesn't deserve this. He shouldn't have gotten that. Can you even trust him? There was none of it. And I just kind of find that funny.
If you can see it, and I barely can see it because I'm old, but if you can see it, to add to what Nitro said, the bottom contract is Herbert's. That's why you still see that low number on his first line, because he's still playing out that rookie part. His big money kicks in next year because that's just showing you he signed an extension before he even got to the end of his rookie contract.
Yep.
And hold up, real quick, Coach. If people don't understand the extension part, it ties in the 5th-year option. People don't seem to understand that also. When they're doing the extensions for these guys, they tie in the 5th-year option as money into the contract. What did Lamar already play on? You get where I'm coming from? But once again, it's funny to me because Herbert got all this money, right? Even though I feel Lamar technically got more because he had to play it all out. But he didn't get none of the backlash.
Right.
And I just find it's something of it's hypocrisy that is yet to be brought up. Did anybody even truly hear about the contract when it came out? It was the quietest big contract I've ever seen in NFL history in offseason. It was.
When you think about this. When Lamar got his deal, it was big time news. Well, to even go back a little further, when Pat Mahomes signed his 10-year deal, it was everything. When Lamar signed his deal, we know what went on with that. Just even the talk of Cincinnati's owner talking about not being able to pay everybody just that talk had more to me had more news cycle than the Herbert signing. What you think about it, Hendo?
Like you said, it's laughable. Lamar, if you just look back at the quarterback records, and they've taken into account playoff records 1-3 versus 0-1. They don't talk about 2 years ago when San Diego went to the last game of the season, needing to win to get into the playoffs. Justin Herbert didn't get it done.
Yep.
He has a 25-24 record compared to Lamar's 45-16 record. They don't take these things into account. But the thing that gets me the most is everybody and their mother said quarterbacks don't deserve this type of money. Who is Lamar Jackson to think that he deserves this type of contract? Now, fast forward to Herbert. This man gets up to $219 million guaranteed money. In 2025, he gets $100 million. 1 year, they're giving him $100 million straight off the bat. You heard nobody say anything about that. You heard no one talk about why is he getting 200 and something million guaranteed? Because when it came to Lamar, they said nobody's going to get close to what Deshaun Watson got. But now all of a sudden it's quiet, it's fine. He looks the part. He has all of these passing yards, but he doesn't have that success in the NFL of winning. You can throw for as many yards as you want to, but if your team ain't winning, you really ain't that guy.
Right. Go ahead.
Something no one really talks about when they bring up Justin Herbert. Do y'all remember when Dak was putting up similar stats?
Yep.
And the Cowboys were losing?
Mm-hmm.
Dak was criticized.
Sure was.
They said he can't get it done. What good is passing yards if you don't get the W?
Yep.
And we don't hear that even now. Remember, Dak had to do what?
Play out his when he was hurt. Yep. He didn't get it paid until he was hurt.
But see, that's the point though. The thing was, he had to get hurt for them to see his value.
Exactly, Hendo.
They thought that they could win without him, and they saw it wasn't it. And Jerry Jones is like, man, well, it'd have been cheaper just to sign him earlier.
We kind of in the same boat.
We are.
We probably wouldn't have gave Lamar that money if we didn't fail when he got hurt.
Yeah,
let's Snoop had won 2-3 more games.
Right.
Who knows where we be right now? I still think it'd have been stupid, but who knows where we be? Go ahead.
But even on that, coach, right? Take into consideration, then what's the conundrum in Charger land? They're not winning with it. They're not even winning with him. So why give him the money? Save it and get another guy, or spread out some of that love, with other pieces.
But look, you got to look at this as well. Look who Lamar had to throw to. Look at his receivers. Justin Herbert had Keenan Allen, Mike Williams.
From the jump.
He has Austin Eckler. They on defense, they got Khalil Mack, Joey Bosa. They signed J.C. Jackson. They got Derwin James. They have Rashawn Slater at left tackle. They have talent across the board, and they still can't win. But Justin Herbert got an extension with 2 years left on his contract. Not 1, 2 years. Lamar had to play through his 5th-year option, and Baltimore still was like, no,
right?
And they played with fire because this could have went wrong.
We waited to the 23rd and 58 minutes.
We went to draft day,
and it's funny because talking with Lamar, I remember him even saying, I wanted to be here.
Look at him.
You know what I'm saying?
Look at
What?
And talking with Lamar.
Use it.
My CD Lamar just texted me the other day.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's up. But what I'm saying, like when I talk with him, and he was saying before with the stuff, he had made a point to say he never wanted to leave. It was the Ravens pushing him to these points to get what he wanted. You know what I mean? He never wanted to go. He never wanted to go nowhere. And that's the funny thing, like how this whole thing comes through, because when you look at certain players, and you don't want to always say and go to the R card, you know what I mean? You never want to go there. But when you start to see that there's a trend and everyone's like, oh, well, Patrick Mahomes is the exception to the rule. But he's not, you get where I'm coming from? But that just proves of the rule. That's all he is.
Yep.
Every other person, it's been the same thing over and over again. Now, Deshaun Watson, once again, I mean, let's be real. It was the Browns. The Browns do Brown things. But every other quarterback that looks like had to wait, fight, have less, you know what I'm saying, be doubted, in the media cycle, do they really deserve it? Didn't they say that about Dak? Didn't they say that about Hurts? Didn't they say that about Lamar? Did you hear that said that about Herbert? Did you hear it said about Lawrence? Did you hear it said that about Allen? Do you hear Allen was horrible his first 2-3 years in the league?
If you don't
horrible.
know it, Allen ran more than Lamar.
Didn't he? And took bigger hits.
And way bigger hits. And
Allen
this man was throwing what? Under 60%.
Sure was.
What did the team go do? Hello, Diggs.
Get Diggs.
Give him a target.
It's funny how the narrative changed when you added Stephon Diggs to that team. Now, I don't want to take away and say Josh Allen didn't go work on his craft and get better,
Right?
because I don't want to crap on him that much,
right?
But Diggs definitely helped.
Of course. I mean, even if you go back to the draft, if you look throughout college, Josh Allen had like a 55% completion percentage. Lower than Lamar.
At Wyoming, Hendo.
Low, but they threw the ball all the time. Lower than Lamar's. But all they talked about was Lamar's accuracy.
Mm-hmm.
And Lamar had less weapons.
Right. But Lamar was taking a lot of deep shots at Louisville. That's why his completion percentage just wasn't as high as it should have been, because he was taking big shots.
Mm-hmm.
Just Josh Allen just couldn't throw. But everybody was like, oh, the potential. They got him a number one wide receiver. Now look what happens. Now we have a number one wide receiver. Let's see what happens now.
Exactly. My thing is now is with Herbert having this contract, and they also keep in mind, and I don't know how they got it, but they picked what? They picked 2 spots before us because they picked the big wide receiver. So now they got three guys. They got Keenan Allen, they got Big Mike, and they got the big TCU guy,
Quentin Johnson.
So he got 3 legit, because we trying to piece together guys. Now, because we got a injured Odell, and I love Odell. Now, there ain't no shade. We got an injured Bateman that's dealing with his foot.
All right.
Zay's the healthiest, and we got Aguilar that's trying to rebuild his name or his brand, I guess. So no shade to none of them guys, but he got 3 dudes. Yep. He ain't got no excuse.
And period. You didn't. And you look who you brought up, and you didn't even say Eckler.
Right.
That's mind-boggling. He has, what I told somebody? I was arguing with them on Twitter, because I put out a tweet and it kind of went like big. And I told him, I said, for all the doubt that you have for Lamar, if you pluck Lamar out of the Ravens and you throw him on the Chargers, nobody's going to bet against them to make a championship run. Nobody. They're going to be one of the perennial favorites in Vegas. And everyone's going to throw their money behind them. Mm-hmm. So you can't say, oh, well, Herbert's just better. You have to use the eye test. I've been watching football for 82 years. No. Let's be real. Lamar has done it with less.
Right.
And he's had more success doing it with less. This guy's had everything.
Think about it.
And now you paid him. You're not even going to be able to keep some of those weapons. Hilarious.
Put Justin Herbert on the Chiefs team. 70 games they win. Put Justin Herbert with McKinnon, with Pacheco, with Kadarius Toney, with Justin Ross. I can't even think of I don't even know their receivers' names. See, that's
Sky Moore.
Yeah. They might win 6 games.
Mm-hmm.
But you put Lamar with the Chiefs, I bet they at least get to 12.
What's the Chiefs running back?
Pacheco.
Pacheco
and McKinnon.
If what's his name's over there, he's leading the league in receptions. I tell you that now. If he goes over to the Chiefs, he's going to check down to that running back every time, like he does with Eckler. Here. Over there.
McKinnon already had like almost 60 catches with Mahomes. So if he had Herbert, he probably had 100.
Huh. Yeah,
that's all he is. He is check down Charlie, and he happened to have a guy that can make people miss.
Mm-hmm.
And then when people have to defend him throwing the ball to Eckler, he got Keenan Allen run great routes. He might be slow as but Keenan Allen run great routes. And this was probably Big Mike's best year that I've ever seen him with my own 2 eyes. He went and got a bunch of jump balls, bunch of them.
Yeah, it's one-on-one. As long as you get one-on-one coverage, somebody that big, that athletic, with that type of body control and hands, let's just be real. It's taking candy from a baby.
Yeah. But he's normally hurting. He was healthy for the better part of this season.
Until he got hurt the last game. But another thing that people don't talk about with Lamar is when it comes to critical situations, especially I think in the last 2 minutes of the game and taking the lead in overtime, Lamar's ranked 4th.
Mm-hmm.
Justin Herbert's not ranked in the top 3.
Was it okay? I thought he was second. Okay.
Well, and one part he's second, but I think when it comes to the playoffs and for the regular season, he's second.
Okay.
Regular season, he's second.
And
But
keep
the
in
playoff,
mind, a lot of them fourth quarters for that 2019 season, he ain't play.
yep.
So that's like 6-7 games that you can't count because he didn't play the fourth quarter because the lead was so big.
That is such a good point because they even try to detract from that season. They say, "Oh, it was a low throwing season for everybody. That's the only reason why he won the passing touchdown." And I look at people and I'm saying he threw 36. He sat out an accumulation of 2.7
Quarter.
games
Games.
of time.
Oh yeah, when you
2.7
think about the quarter.
Yeah. In accumulation, 2.7. And he still led the league. That's a league with Aaron Rodgers still in his prime. That's with Patrick Mahomes. That's with your favorite Josh Allen. All these guys are still there. Thomas Brady.
Right.
And he did all that. And you look at him and say, it's discounted. It's a man, listen, man.
Last thing I'll say about it is even though he did all that in 2019, and this is one of the reasons why I love Joy Taylor. Because when you add unanimous to it, that means everybody that watched football that year thought he was the best player. And I think it's two people that can say that. Him and Steph Curry. Maybe others, but in my recent memory, I know him.
Tom
got unanimous.
There's only two. Yeah, there's only two.
Well, I'm talking about, well, in recent history, I know Steph Curry got it when he won MVP, and I know Lamar got it. So that makes three. But I appreciate you guys for coming through to discuss this situation because when I saw your video, I wanted to bring you on and have a chance to say what you said about it. While we added our little spin to it, and practice started today. So tell people where they can find you, Nitro.
You can find me live in effect on YouTube, The Wonderkin Show, Twitter, telling people what's good. You know what I'm saying? Yes, sir.
Hendo.
You can find me on the Rogue Pod on everything, all your social media, all your audio platforms. That's where I'm at.
All right, Hendo, I got one more task for you.
Yes, sir.
It's 6 o'clock on the dial. Tell everybody where they need to be.
Oh, they need to be more set the tally, sir.
What's going on?
It's for the streets. We got 2 and 1 coming up of the top 32 teams in the NFL. Coming up now.
Coming up right now. So I appreciate everybody. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you chose to be here with me. Peace.
Later.
Let me